Hey guys, how's it going today? Welcome to this new episode of your favorite podcast. This is episode 479, and this is your host, Martin. All right, guys, I hope you guys are doing great. My day was pretty nice, actually. Well, gee, I hope it didn't, hope you still hear me. I almost tripped. Day was really nice. I had physio because I don't know. It's crazy when you get older. You start having all these injuries and stuff. Me. I remember when I was a teenager. I was like, "Oh, these people are always injured." Jesus. So now there's always something. So I have a tendonitis on my shoulder. Go figure. Well, anyway. So yeah, I went to a physiotherapist, and then afterwards had dinner with some of my friends. So very good day. So today I wanted to talk to you about hacking, all right, growth hacking, all right, or just hacking stuff, right? So now, disclaimer, please, before you start saying, oh, Martin's going to hack the Pentagon and end up in jail and stuff, I'm not talking about hacking like the cyber crime and stuff like that, right? I'm not even going to get into people's computers or something like that, right? I'm just talking about hacks. Okay, so not hacking, but actual hacks. All right. So, look, if you want my opinion on hacks, I mean, there are some people who think that all I do is just hack stuff. They're like, "Oh man, you're hacking everything," right? And all the time, because I love those. I love those things. Finding a way to do, the term growth hacking, right? Where you will use unconventional methods to actually grow. So I love doing that stuff, right? I really love doing that stuff. I'm going to talk to you about kind of like hacking and spam and all that kind of stuff in a general sense, okay? Not in, you have to become a criminal. So anyway, the first real job that I had, I was working in a security company. We were protecting people's mail servers, so email, and then afterwards we were actually doing the HTTP requests, so the internet stuff, And so my job was to stop incoming emails and incoming connections and blah blah blah. And you know what? So you're preconditioned to hate the spammers and those guys and stuff, right? So obviously it's your job. I mean, a lot of them are doing shady stuff and trying to get money away from people and steal that money and all that kind of stuff, which is not good. But there is one thing that you have. I mean, you have to hand it to them. I mean, these crooks. I mean, they are so resourceful. It is insane. I mean, these people are so smart. They're street smart. Like some of the stuff that these hackers, not hackers, like spammers or something, or even just hackers, what they're able to do, you're like, man, I mean, these, you have to hand it to them. Their motivations are not necessarily the best. What they're doing with it is not actually the best. But the thought process of, wow, these people are really smart, right? So me in my case, for example, we had a tower. Okay, so the tower was basically where all the emails were sent. So we were basically asking the clients to say, if someone wants to send you an email, have them send that email to us, and then afterwards we will clean it, and then we send you the clean emails, okay? So in order for us to be able to write a lot of rules and protect our clients the best we could, we had to get, I mean, the more emails we got, the better, because it will allow us to build some rules. Okay, and identify patterns and stuff. If you've seen that pattern in a million emails, then we can write a rule and all that kind of stuff. So we need less than a million emails, obviously, but you know what I mean. Okay, so basically, our servers were designed to accept everything and not bounce anything. Okay, because if we bounce it, then we don't know what's inside. We cannot write rules. All right. And these guys were, so we had one of the filters was the Bayesian filter, if I'm not mistaken, and it was calculating the probability of the email being spam, okay? So it basically looks at the email, says, this one looks like spam, and then it sent it to spam, okay? So these guys, they realized that this is what our thing was doing, because it had characteristics of spam. So what they did, it was brilliant, right? So what they did was this. They had like a paragraph of like spam, like buy Viagra or something. And then they put some quotes from like well-known philosophers like Plato and I don't know, like philosophy and stuff, some Shakespeare paragraphs and blah, blah, blah. And then buy some from some Viagra and then some more, And for the filter, because the filter is not human, right? The filter is like, look, there's some Shakespeare, there's some philosophy and blah, blah, blah. Well, this should go to the inbox, all right? So we ended with our clients moaning like, what the hell is this? Why is this going in? And then we started looking at it. We're like, these guys are really smart, right? So then we wrote a rule against this. So basically what we did was, let's say we had two filters, okay? So there was the Bayesian filter and heuristic filter. And you can say, well, give 80% of the weight to the Bayesian filter. So if the Bayesian filter says, no, this looks like spam, then that voice counts more. And the problem was that, we had to recalculate the weight that we're giving to such and such filter, because one filter was just say, yeah, let it in, and everything was going in, right? So we did this to solve the problem for a little bit, and then they came up with other stuff, okay? So they came up with something that you've probably seen in your mailbox, right? So you get an email where let's say I write Viagra, I will write V1, I don't know, like @ G, R, and A, right? So technically speaking, right, your human eye will actually read it as Viagra. You'll figure out what it is. But for a machine, this is not the same word as Viagra, because it was looking for an exact match. All right, and that V1, @ and stuff, it doesn't match Viagra. All right, so these things were going in. All right, and so we had to play catch up and go and change the rules. Okay, then what they did was, so if we said, if it has some sort of combination of weird numbers and blah, 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 but it's still, someone had to write the rules, the rules. I wasn't the one, I wasn't the programmer or something writing that, or the spam team, right? But then what they did was, they started adding characters, like dots, okay? V dot, I dot, etc., right? So then when you look at it, it's not Viagra, right? It's a different word. So we had to change that as well. And then they started doing something called obfuscating characters, where they will put the character, so that dot will be there, but it will be white over white. So white character over white background. Meaning that for the human eye, the word still spells Viagra, but for the computer, it's a different word, all right? And on and on and on and on. I can like, honestly, we could talk for hours about how inventive these guys were. So as much as you hate them at the time because, they're trying to send, spam people or something, you're like, dude, these guys are smart. I mean, these guys, they were so smart. And I actually admired them. I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool. We had a good laugh, after the client moaned, like, why am I receiving this? And what was something that was funny was there was always some old woman in, I don't know, accounting or somewhere. Oh, she received this email that talked about Viagra. Now she's traumatized and she's going to go on sick leave for like a month. And I'm like, dude, come on, it's just one email. There was, in every company, there was someone who had been traumatized and made a big scandal and went to the IT team and started crying and shit. I'm like, come on, it's just an email. Just delete the damn email, right? So anyway, what I'm saying is, I really admired these guys, and that's why I like these things like hacking, like growth hacking, right? So where you find clever ways of getting your point across, okay? And sometimes these things, right? These hacks, right? And that's actually the purpose now. The subject of the podcast is hacks, okay? So. It is very important for you to understand something, okay? It's crucial. Hacks are cool. They're awesome. So I'm not saying here, don't do any hacks or something. Don't hack people's computers. Don't do anything criminal, okay? But if there is a something that, I don't know, the algorithm doesn't understand something, blah, 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 blah. You can basically take advantage of it. Dude, I will do it any day. And I encourage you to do it, okay? So one thing, this is crucial. I really need you guys to understand this. So whatever it is that you do, all right, you have to understand that hacks are, I'll say, they could last forever, but they're generally temporary, right? It's only a matter of time before someone figures it out, or maybe something happens, too many people start using it, or there's an idiot who knows about the hack and then start doing crazy stuff and becomes greedy, okay? So when you start using this, you always have to have in the back of your mind, and this is very important, because then I see people crumble and start crying and giving up and blah, blah, blah. You just have to understand that, dude, this can go away any day, all right? That's the mentality. Look, it's working now, it might not work tomorrow. So while it's working, I will enjoy it. The day it doesn't work anymore, well, I knew it. You know, it's a hack. It will, at some point, something will happen, okay? And, you know, it's hard when it happens. You know, I got introduced to kind of like hacks, I will say. You know, the algorithm, the Instagram algorithm, right? Where you could like automate a lot of things and stuff. Dude, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. I had so many hundreds running and everything, you know. But then they changed stuff. And some people, I don't know, I think some people got depressed, some people blah, 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 you know, and me always, it sucks, right? I log in and I see 100 of my accounts, right? And a lot of them were above like 10,000, you know, bam, wiped out, right? I log in, they're all gone, right? It sucks. Obviously you're like, damn, right? But then, you know, if you're like me, and if from the beginning you have integrated the fact that, look, it's a hack, you know, it might not be there forever, right? You know, as long as it's here, dude, I'll take advantage. Then, yeah, you know, quickly you get over it, okay? So there is something else right now that happened to me. I mean, this is the most beautiful hack that I've ever been introduced to. It's the most beautiful one. It's giant. It's enormous. But maybe I'll get a new one, right? So there is one lurking that I might be able to get. But anyway, this one is the best that I've ever been exposed to. And what happened was, I don't know what happened, but you know, someone figured that there was something wrong, a security you know, vulnerability, or blah, 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 something like this. And now they're fixing stuff, okay? So I don't know what they're fixing. Maybe because there were like various different things that, that could be where the hack could work. And then, you know, they might fix something else and then we're back, you know? But yeah, it really sucked. I connected and I was like, oh man. But yeah, it's you know, it sucks when this happens. But if you go in with the mentality of, look, this can stop anytime. You know, you need to be ready for it. All right, and you need to be ready for it. You need to accept it, and you need to integrate it in your mind. Like, oh, you know, let's take advantage of that while it's there. And then you'll see how I have seen people that I've introduced to a bunch of like hacks or something, you know, that I know, who literally, you know, stuff happened like, oh man, you know, the thing is suspended or something like this, and they're like, their whole world crumbles, you know. And they're like, man, but it's not bugging you. I'm like, well, it is bugging me, but dude, you know, that's how it works, man. That's the game, you know. You have to integrate that, you know. So my point is, if you find a hack, use it. All right. I'm not going to tell you, oh no, don't use it. Use it, but just understand that you know, it can go down at any time. And so what you want to do is this, okay? Which is the point of what I want you to understand here. All right. So this was the preface to explain, if you see a hack, do it, okay? Just do it, right? But then you need to have something that's evergreen and something that doesn't have any hacks, doesn't have any whatever, like your kind of like longevity business. And then that hack is actually going to fuel your longevity business, okay? Just so that you don't lose everything when the hack is exposed, okay? Well, here's the thing. I've seen people who had, and you know, this is something that I explained many times, is they had this Instagram giant network of like hundreds of accounts, right? And they were using that, just Instagram. Oh man, this is cool, it works and stuff. Then the whole thing went away. Overnight, they lost everything, all right? Whereas there's some people who use those Instagram accounts to fuel their business and transform these people into subscribers. They move them to other stuff. I don't know, they move them to Messenger, or, well, you know, from Messenger, anyway, whatever you want to do, regardless if it's your YouTube, your blah, 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 whatever you want to do, you want to move them to your email, all right? That's what you want to do, okay? So the people who used the hack while it was there to fuel their existing business, right? Then when the whole thing went down, it kind of sucks, but still they had something. I've seen people who lost no, they didn't lose everything, because people, you know, people get dramatic when something happens. Oh man, I lost everything. No, dude, you still have your house, your car, blah, blah, etc. Right? You just lost those Instagram accounts, okay? So look, it is very, very important, because look, this hack that I'm telling you about, this is the most beautiful hack that I've ever been exposed to. It's beautiful, okay? And I was exposed to it maybe 2 months ago. It had been running for like 8 years or something like this. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then next thing you know, I was building a whole strategy and a whole development. I have a developer building something for me that was based on that. And then now, bam, thing is down. So it sucks. It sucks ass. Really, it sucks. But dude, I was prepared in the back of my mind for this thing not to work at some point. I was just hoping it was going to be in 10 years. But not everything is lost. We'll see how that goes. Maybe they haven't identified this thing that we're using. And yeah, might actually come back to what it was before. But it will be complicated, because it's right now it's down, and the expectation is that it might be down for like a month. So how long are people going to wait before they switch system or do something, right? If you were trying to use something and that you have to use every day for your business because it's business critical, and then the damn thing doesn't work for a month, I mean, by then you've already switched to something else, right? So that's the one thing that kind of sucks. But again, it was a hack. It's not going to last forever, okay? Don't get too demoralized about it. Obviously it sucks. The one thing, two things you have to understand: it's temporary, and then use this hack to fuel something else that's not a hack and that's going to last forever, okay? If you do this, then you'll be fine. You'll still be able to come out on top and take advantage of it while it's there. And then when it's not there anymore, then, sucks to be you, but at least you've been able to get something out of it, okay? So look, that's pretty much it for today's episode. I'm not going to reveal what the hack is, because I'm pretty sure people are going to ask me, oh man, what is it? Can you look me in and stuff? I'm not going to say, man. This is, look, it is the most beautiful hack that I've seen in my life. Okay, I've seen stuff, right? This one, I mean, in my life, so basically the way I want to run my life and my business and stuff, right? But there is another one that I should normally get access to, which this one's the holy grail. It's the holy freaking grail. But they go together, right? One would have fueled the other, so that's why it sucks. But anyway, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's episode, and I wish you guys a very good day, very good evening. I don't know where you guys are and where you're listening from, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, yeah, make sure to subscribe. If you're not a subscriber yet, make sure to subscribe. And you can recommend this podcast to people who will be interested in knowing about entrepreneurship, mindset, and just life, man. So anyway, I will see you in tomorrow's episode. That was your host, Martin. Bye-bye.